Hi Aries, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. My name is Tori. Tonight we're going to take a look at the upcoming week. This is the week of July 14th through the 20th. That is a Monday through a Sunday. And when I was preparing for your reading, I heard there's fresh new energy. So whatever you've been doing, you're clearing out the old and ushering in the new, okay? Something fresh, it feels very like exhilarating, exciting. It's like a renewal of an energy. That's what's coming in for you this week, or that's the energy that you're going to kind of be sitting in this week. I'm seeing the sun, so definitely feels like something could be cleared, illuminated for you, a path forward, something like that is coming through. Look at this opportunity card. It's because of your hard work. Okay, that's like so awesome, because let me tell you, there's like so many things that I'm picking up on from this. It's almost as if you've had to like weed through things with like a fine-tooth comb. So it's almost like you've been sorting through your thoughts, your ideas, your visions, your potential opportunities, the things that have been, holding you back, keeping you stuck, keeping you stagnant, the emotions and the feelings that have been keeping you stuck in a vicious cycle. And it's almost as if those things are starting to clear. And with the clearing of those things presents new opportunities, because what I'm seeing is like, the sun rises and it sets, right? So it's like the sun had set on several things in your life that kind of had you in a maybe not feeling so good. Okay, that's the best way to describe it. Had your energy kind of low, had you feeling sad about life, feeling like things were not working out in your favor, maybe even feeling like God was against you. And that's starting to change because your perception is changing, okay? Your perspective is changing is what I'm hearing. So now you're going to be presented with new opportunities. But the interesting thing about these opportunities is they're nothing like the things of the past, okay? So it's literally like the old is gone and everything being presented to you is new, which is very consistent with the astrology, because we had last week that full moon in Capricorn, which was completely about obliterating anything that has been standing in the way of you walking into who you are called to be. So it looks like you've been doing the work. Whoever this reading is for, you have been doing the work. There's a cleansing that's been taking place, okay? You could have maybe felt low about yourself. This is interesting because Aries, I don't typically pick this energy up from you guys, but I may have been feeling that a couple of weeks ago. It feels very deja vu-ish, like familiar to me. But some of you could have been struggling with your confidence, with your esteem, struggling with feeling good about the path that you're taking in life, or who you were or became. But that's changing. Look at this card, healing. This is about ending the old, purifying, cleansing, and removing. Okay, that's that obliterating of the things of the past, now moving into more of a fluid state where you're able to receive and walk in your heart's desires, okay? It's almost as if like a moth to a flame is being shown to me, like a magnet. You're being drawn into the people, things, and places that are supposed to be present in your life. Interesting, because that detachment card is at the bottom of the deck there, and it is like, it feels like you have detached from previous or past things that maybe you saw as opportunities in the past, but you realize that they were actually not beneficial for you, so you've walked away. You're choosing to take a different journey in life, even if it feels lonely, because I am kind of picking up on that some of you could be feeling very lonely in this path forward. You could feel like it's something completely out of your norm, maybe feels foreign to you. You could be traveling even to a foreign land, but it's something that's very unfamiliar about it. It doesn't feel like it's your natural state. So for example, you could be functioning a lot off of your emotions and feeling a lot, and you're like, this is completely not normal for me. But the reality of it is your old way of doing things needed to be purified. It needed to be cleansed. It needed to be, back to that word I'm hearing, obliterated, okay? And that's because it wasn't really allowing you to thrive in life. That state of, like trying not to be emotional, trying to guard your emotions. I'm seeing the Emperor here in reverse, like trying to keep those emotions bottled in is what's been actually keeping you stuck. So I'm seeing you starting to open up, starting to release some of the resistance to feeling. And in that, you're allowing yourself to open up to new opportunities. You're also healing yourself and your past in the process. The bottom deck energy is trust. Allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you know exactly how to handle them. Yeah, giving this over to spirit, trusting that God has everything taken care of. And I think that that's where this confidence is coming from too. You're being diligent in the faith that you're putting out to God, right? It's almost like there's some type of a push. It's like an internal fire or force that's being given to you that's allowing you to paddle forward or push forward. Even though it feels uncomfortable, it's almost as if you have confidence in knowing that if you don't try this, that you're not going to be successful. Okay, it's like I've tried all the other ways. I have to try this and see what happens. This non-duality card, this is definitely given me the energy of falling into a state of zen, like it's like there's this word that's coming to mind. I don't think it's a word, guys, but it's like assuredness. I guess maybe that could be a word. Like there's something about you that's very sure, that's very confident in the fact that you can rest in God's hands and know that you're going to be taken care of. So the non-duality card reads, let your authentic humanity shine forth while also bowing to the inner divine. You can become fluent at doing both. Yeah. So, you know, Aries, your sign is all about the I am, right? So your sign is representative of the self, me. Everything about Aries represents me. I, you know, it's like those little birds in the Nemo movie. But there's something here about choosing to create balance in trusting the divine as well as staying true to who you are. And I think in the past, your energy was very much resistant to kind of giving in to trusting the divine because, you know, you are very independent. There's no shade. I think one thing that... Okay, thank you, Spirit. One thing that is being called to my attention to mention to you right now is that, especially with this moon showing up, this is how they confirmed that they wanted me to say this. There's nothing wrong with you being confident and stable and steady within yourself, okay? I think oftentimes people can take confidence and, you know, one's own ability to rely on themselves versus others as something negative, right? People want to say, oh, that's arrogance. Oh, that's selfishness. Oh, that's this. No, actually it's not. And we actually need you, Aries, to operate in that energy. Obviously with a balance in your own life. It's not healthy to only focus on yourself. You have to incorporate others and spirit into your life, right? Otherwise you're not balanced, you're imbalanced. But we need you all to operate in that confidence because you don't realize it, but inadvertently we can pick up on that confidence too. And it's a gift for us that you're able to stand in that. Although, like I said, in your own lives, there is a need to balance it out. But for us as a community and as a collective, we need Aries individuals who have that confidence and that energy that helps to assist and push and drive the rest of us as a collective forward. So please don't look at your ability to stand on your own 2 feet as something negative. And I do think that maybe you, because you've struggled with trying to find balance in that energy in the past, I think you could have possibly kind of demonized it because I'm seeing the devil. So just remind yourself that that's actually your authenticity. That's who you are, and those are your gifts. They only become challenges when we don't allow them to be balanced out, right? So yeah, lots of healing. I just want to encourage you all because I do not by any means want our Aries people to walk around feeling like they, you know, are supposed to not be this. No, you were created to be that. That is your superpower. It's all a matter of finding balance, okay? So you see you got the Star, the Emperor, the Ace of Cups. We're going to get a couple more. Here we go. Alrighty. Love this. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's take a look at this. We have the High Priestess at the bottom of the deck. Again, that is about that non-duality energy. This is about surrendering to the divine, but also maintaining your authenticity. The High Priestess is very balanced. She's very much aware of her divinity, as well as her need to submit to the divine, to God, one who is higher than herself. Okay, so that is beautiful energy. And here for you, there's something about you pulling that energy in and valuing it within yourself. Like it's kind of like a collecting of that energy. Like, these are my gifts. Let me pull this energy in and make magic out of it, rather than shying away from it. I'm also feeling a lot of like isolating energy from you this week, Aries. So you may be really sitting with yourself, trying to assess situations and circumstances. You'll notice here you have a ton of major arcana, 4 out of our 6 cards, and the Ace of Cups came up in reverse, although I'm not going to read it that way. But this feels to me very much so like you lost your balance in your love for yourself. Maybe in others, maybe in trying to give to others. Let me cover her little cha-chas up. Maybe in trying to pour into others, you lost yourself. So this is almost like an awakening, or it doesn't feel like an awakening. I need to correct that. It feels like there's an assessment of where you're at and where you want to go. It also feels like a pause. And like there's like a pause and a reflective state of you trying to figure out who you are, where you want to go, and what you're doing with your life. And then it feels to me like taking control of your life and putting things back into balance. So over the last couple of weeks, you could have been going through this transition of massive healing and cleansing, and really assessing, how you feel about situations, circumstances, things that have occurred in your life. That's the Hierophant with the Star energy. And then with the Empress and the Justice card is like, you know what? I need to bring this back into balance. I've been imbalanced, and it's because of myself. Although we have the Ace of Cups here, I don't feel any other energy. This is all about you this week, Aries. This is not about another person. It's not about a partnership. If it is, it had to have been a marriage that maybe has you stressed out. That could have been dissolved here with the Hierophant and the Justice next to it. But something has you feeling trapped in your thoughts regarding like, what is love? I think you absolutely are questioning what is love and what does it look like for my life. And I think it has to start with you. With it showing up in reverse here, this is showing me that there's a lack of pouring into yourself. And I think that's where you have this 8 of Swords energy. When we don't pour into ourselves, when we're pouring into other people, waiting for someone to pour into us and it's not reciprocated, that does put us in a state of the 8 of Swords where we feel very stressed out. It's self-imprisoned because you're fully aware that the love needs to be poured into yourself. Remember, you are the sign of I am. So you know that this needs to be, you need to start by pouring into yourself. But I think you've been neglecting that by maybe trying to pour into others. I'm also hearing that you could be trying to pour into others in an attempt to avoid really sitting with yourself. But Spirit is here to assist and support you with this Justice card, the Hierophant and the Star. You could be talking to a counselor or a therapist or a spiritual advisor of some sort too, and they could be assisting and supporting you with your spiritual practice. You could also be trying to tap into or finding out what type of spiritual practices align with you. But this week is definitely about looking at opportunities to be able to create balance and harmony within yourself instead of going outside looking for it in others. And it's because looking for it in others is sending you through this vicious cycle. This is cyclical here with this Eight of Swords, with the Ace of Cups in reverse. This is like a vicious cycle that you just continue to circle through, and you don't ever actually find any resolve. And the reason why is because, wow, because you're shying away, or you have been shying away from getting your feet wet as far as your emotions. And that's where this comes into play, is that there's a need for you to pour into yourself. You have healing powers within yourself, but you have to sit with those emotions. And Spirit is almost showing me that moth with the flame is like, that's what's drawing you into this energy, is that you are so depleted. You're so lacking love in general. Love, you're not feeling love from partnerships. You're not feeling love from family, not feeling love for yourself. And that's why you're not receiving or getting love from these outside influences. There's something about validation that's coming up too, seeking validation externally rather than internally. And that has to be balanced out. It's going to keep you in this state. It's going to keep you in this state of the Eight of Swords. So I really feel like this week for you, Aries, is about being like, it's almost like you're trapped in a cell with yourself, and the only thing in the cell is a mirror. So it's almost like you're being forced to look at yourself, who you've become, and what possibilities or opportunities are available to you for you to heal these things. And it's going to start with you trusting your intuition, just trusting that God is guiding you through this, and that you will make it out on the other side, and having the confidence. Oh, assured. That's where that assuredness came from. Yeah. So having the confidence that things are going to turn out positively for you. Being motivated by the outcomes that you're really hoping and trusting for. And that's where this trust comes from. Oh, wow. Detachments at the bottom here. Look at this. Yeah, Aries, this is awesome. I love this energy. It feels very like downer-ish, you know, like for some people they could be like, oh God, no, this is the worst energy ever. But actually this is going to be very cleansing for you. It's definitely a change, definitely not easy, but when this gets flipped upright, when you're actually able to start receiving and pouring into yourself and allowing Spirit to pour into you, you're going to come out of this Eight of Swords energy, and you're going to free yourself from this bondage and this captivity that's keeping you entrapped and entangled. Whew. Heavy energy, but very much necessary. Okay, Aries, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, drop a water emoji of some sort in the comments for me, please, because you're definitely going to be immersed in emotions this week, okay? Just try to maintain that balance that you can easily do. Keep it chill and just push through, because on the other side of this is amazingness. All right, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. I hope this resonates. If so, have a great week, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next. Bye.